Hi, I'm Guy Trainin. I'm a professor in the Department of Teaching, Learning, and Teacher Education, which I assume most of you, if not all of you, are from. I do studies in innovative learning technologies and literacy. In the last few years, I've been working most obviously about AI, which is probably 80% of my research portfolio at this point. I do a lot of quantitative research, summative analyses, meta-analyses, and on top of that, I do some qualitative work when the topic requires it. I work with AI. I work with a lot of AI applications. I've worked with Scite in the past, and I was not super impressed. I hope that it'll work better this time. I think I'm better using AI, but I know that the AI engines, and these are all wrappers that build on the core LLMs with some special features, at least most of them are. And so when the major LLMs improve, there's a significant chance that these would improve as well. So I'm starting with Scite. You can see that it is Scite.ai, and it looks very familiar to anybody who's using AI right now. You can also see that I have Grammarly open, and just so you're aware, as a second language learner, but also as somebody who always needs as much help as he can get in the writing process, I do have Grammarly open to just fix the small things. Well, I'm trying to use table mode. I like my results in a table. What I'm right now looking for are results around the TPACK. So I'm looking for studies that are well cited, above, let's say, 100 citations, that did a quantitative study of TPACK with its subcomponents. TPACK is something that has been used quite extensively in the literature to examine its technological, pedagogical content knowledge. And it's a way to think about how these things intersect. What I've noticed in my work is that people have very different way of operationalizing what is, for example, pedagogical knowledge, what is pedagogical technological knowledge, and all of that. And one of the things that I've been noticing in reviews I've been doing lately is that people are confusing them, at least in my interpretation, and therefore they're coming to the wrong conclusions. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to find the highest cited ones in a way to do a short review that says, here are the most cited articles about TPACK, and here are the ones who get it right or get it wrong. It's just an initial idea, and I want to see what's out there. So, and I will say, and I need to know how they defined each component in the text and through items. This is a big ask, because I'm not just asking it to find those articles. I'm asking it to dig inside the articles, and that's why the table mode might be useful. Let's see what it can do. So the thinking might take a while. By the way, I have only 2 free prompts left, so I need to really be good at it, and we'll see what I get here. But this is what the table format does for you. Is it organizes things. I think that if you're looking for a lot of literature, it's a great way to start. You can see that because I'm not paying, it's giving me just the beginning. It's just a taste. The development of instrument. This is the Lux, Bangert, and Whittier. Let's see. Number of publications citing this work is 47. Not what I asked for. I said over 100, but okay. Maybe it can't find anything over 100. That'll be interesting. Let's see if that helps me understand what it is. It's cited by 48 publications. Oh, and only 32 have direct statements that are included in the text. Okay. Now I understand a little bit better. And it references 16 publications. That's fine. it's a fairly early article. TPACK came out in 2006, or 2007, if I'm not mistaken. So this is just a few years after. There's very little out there. Exploring TPACK in educational games, preschool. Ooh, that's interesting. And now it gave me this one that it has 2 citations. And I'm like, this is not necessarily what I wanted, although this is much, much better. But this is not TPACK. This is the CPEQ. So why did you bring it to me? I'm not sure, because hospital ways to assess hospital cancer is definitely not what I wanted. So I will do the free trial by title, author, keywords, or DOI. And what we want is TPACK, quantitative studies. Okay, let's see what it does. And this is fresh perspective on TPACK. This has been cited by 104. This is very good. And you can see that I can organize it in any way I want. And so I can, for example, organize it by citations. So I can say mentioning, and I want anything above 50, let's say. Let's see, now it's filtering. That's always useful. Sometimes you want the most recent, sometimes you want something that is cited. I'm always looking for in citations, for example, for the original paper. And that will be usually most widely cited, but not always. But I would like that to make sure that the person who came up with the concept, in this case, Punya Mishra and Keller, get their credit because they actually came up with it. So if something is more recent, okay, but I want to also give credit to the person who came up with the concept. So here is one, and this seems to be a review. Fresh perspective on TPACK is one. Then we have enhance and pre-service TPACK. That's okay. I love the fact that you can show abstract. Here, you need to start your full trial, blah, blah, blah. Eventually, if you want to have a power search, you need to subscribe. And that's why you want to find out if this is really worth your time. Because if it's not worth your time, don't pay. But if it's worth your time, it might be worth paying, depending on how much it is. And I know that graduate students are not exactly swimming in cash, but it's worth considering if it's going to make your life easier. And you can also pay for a very limited amount of time and then decide if that's something you want. Here's exploring primary school teachers' technical and pedagogical content knowledge in online collaborative discourse, epistemic network analysis. Ooh. That sounds exciting. And you can see that I can view the PDF if it's available. Not everything is available. You see, you have to log in this case, to DSpace. I don't have a login to DSpace, so this is not going to work. It works better if you're on campus, and therefore you have access to all the library resources. And that would make it easier. If you're at home, you can activate the VPN from Nebraska. As a student, you have access to the VPN, and that might give you access to the papers that the university has. And that might be, that's always a good idea, even if all you're doing is looking through Google Scholar, which is my default. And the advantage of Google Scholar is that it is AI as well. It's just not a very good one at this point. We're hoping it'll become better. But you can see that I can look for this, and you even have prices. So you can say rent for $32. I didn't pay for the AI, so I'm not going to pay $42 for a paper. I'm sorry. There are ways to find it. Journal of Educational Computing Research. You can find out something about the journal that I like, because often I want to, there are so many journals right now. There are over 20,000 journals in academia. Maybe double that. I need to check, but we're talking about tens of thousands of journals. There's no way, the top 2 or 3 in your field eventually, sometimes 4 or 5, but knowing, every one that is out there is simply impossible. So this is a nice way to see what's happening with different journals and to see how long they've been around. Because sustainability, for example, is a journal that's been around only a few years. And the reason we love it to a degree is that it is open it is open publishing, so anybody can get access. The authors pay or sometimes don't pay depending on the situation, but the consumer does not have to pay, which gives access. I love the confidence mark. It says I'm 99% confident that this is what you're looking for, and true, the minute it says TPACK, it is what I'm looking for, because in this search I did not ask for only quantitative studies. I just asked for studies. And you can see that I'm getting 60 plus. This one has 100 mentions. So you can see it quite extensive. Remember that you can use the library search for that. I'm still not loving this because these are very few studies. Oh, that's per page. I don't know if I can do that. I hate the whole pages here, page there, but we can see that there are more papers. And so there are actually multiple pages. Okay, that's fine. That's good. Because for a review like that, I need just 10 papers or so. TPACK Quantitative Studies, and this is Mobile Augmented Reality. Artifact creation is a component of mobile computer-supported collaborative learning. See this thing. Let's see what they do about exporting results. Again, I may need to upgrade, but I want to see. I can export results into a CSV format. Again, I need to pay. So I'm not super excited to pay right now, to be honest. Am I finding the articles that I want? Yeah. There's a lot of information here. What I'm not getting is I'm not getting the table format I wanted. I was not happy then. I'm not super happy right now. It's not getting me super excited like some of the other products that are making me happy. But I'll be honest also, I am paying for regular AI, for Claude, and it seems to be doing just as good a job or even a little bit better than this. So if you are paying already, or you're getting one from the university or whatever it is, or from your workplace, try that first. See if it works for you. I think that it would do something that is more interesting than what I'm seeing right now. And so that's about it. All right. Okay. So this is my quick summary of the questions that Nick asked me to kind of talk about after. And would you actually use that tool? Hell no. And I love AI. I use AI every day. That tool with that kind of permission was simply not giving me enough of a trial that I can say, yes, I want to pay $20 a month for it, which is what I'm paying for my Claude, which does a lot of other things besides this. Why not? It's hiding behind a paywall way too early. I did not love the output. Most of it was not accessible, so maybe there's something magical happening. I didn't find the results any better than what I get when I do a Google Scholar. And I get Google Scholar for free. Well, kind of free, but I do get Google Scholar without having to pay extra. It does the same thing in connecting it, tell me how many times it was quoted and all of that. So it was accurate-ish. It was not clear what the order was, how it decided something was there or not. You saw in the initial search, it was way off, which was completely baffling to me. And who might it be useful for? I don't like it. I don't think it would be very useful for anybody. I know some people swear by it. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know, but there are better tools out there that I'm using. Oh, and I have two resources if you're interested in AI any further. I have a podcast that goes out every week. and that is called Azadeh and Guy on AI. And we talk about some of these tools. We talk about some other things around the use of AI in research quite often, not only, but quite often. And the second thing is I have a Substack where I talk about AI. It's called, surprisingly, Guy on AI. And those are great. And so I will be happy if you join me, and I will not be offended if you never read anything I write ever again. Bye.